My name is Jack Bates. This is my 28.1 video on lifestyle factors. The first lifestyle factor that I'll be talking about today is smoking. Smoking is very bad for your health. It really affects your cardiovascular endurance. It damages the alveoli in your lungs, which means you will get less oxygen into your body and into your muscles, which will then mean you won't be able to perform as well as if you weren't a smoker. Furthermore, it makes you look older, it makes you look more frail, more fragile, and it really affects your brain as well, because you need that constant nicotine high, so you will get angry and you'll get agitated when you don't have that nicotine high. So smoking is really bad for someone's personal health. Furthermore, it also affects the club appearance. So, for example, Wojciech Szczesny, who is I think he plays for Juventus at the moment, but he was caught smoking, and his personal image and his club appearances dipped massively, similar to Jack Wilshere at Arsenal. He used to be one of England and Arsenal's upcoming stars, upcoming young players, but ever since he got caught smoking, he has dropped in rate of being picked for the England squad, being picked for the Arsenal squad, and he just doesn't get played much anymore. He even had a loan spell at Bournemouth, which kind of shows how much he has dropped in the public eye and in managers' eyes ever since he got caught smoking. So it's really frowned upon, smoking, especially not just in sport but in general. So it can really affect someone's sponsorship as well. So they won't get as many sponsors, they won't get so much money. It's not very good. It's really bad for you. The next factor is alcohol and drugs. So alcohol can make you feel, it affects your brain cells, so that, and your nervous system, so you will get very dehydrated really quickly. It prevents your bladder from producing the hormone to prevent you from going to the toilet and from urinating. So it prevents you from keeping that moisture in, keeping that water in. So if you're an alcoholic, even if you're just drinking on the odd occasion, or drinking frequently, it doesn't mean you have to be alcoholic. It's going to make you feel more dehydrated, more tired, because alcohol also affects your sleep. It makes it harder to sleep. So this is going to affect your performance, because it's going to make you feel tired and drained and, like I say, dehydrated, which will mean if you're dehydrated, you're going to have to be constantly coming off and getting a drink and trying to play on as much as you can. It also makes you very angry, because similar to the smoking, it's an addiction thing. If you don't have that alcohol in your system that makes you feel happy, that releases serotonin and brings your emotions rocketing up, then it's going to make you feel very angry when you have that low, when you don't have that alcohol to release the serotonin in your brain and make you feel happy. It, similar to the smoking thing as well, it really affects your image, your personal image and your team image. You'll lose all your sponsors, you'll get dropped from the team. For example, Jack Grealish, the Aston Villa player, was caught passed out drunk in a club one night, and he was dropped from the team for months on end, and he's only just started to work his way back into the team, and he lost all his sponsorship, all his image. It ruined his career in a way, because he was similar to Jack Wilshere, he was an upcoming star. It also affects Aston Villa's image if they either don't act upon Jack Grealish, or if they, even if they do or they don't, it's going to affect their image, because he's an Aston Villa player. He represents Aston Villa, so that was a really bad situation for him. The third lifestyle factor that I'll be talking about is gambling. Gambling is also an addiction, or it can be an addiction. You will feel angry if your bet doesn't come in, but it's the addiction that draws you to the prospect of winning, that draws you to keep on gambling, keep on doing and keep on spending money. And football players nowadays, having so much money, often will will just spend their money on whatever they can, and if it's gambling, then that's what they'll do. So this will make you very much distracted, because you'll be thinking about your bets, you'll be thinking about how much money you put on, how many gains you're going to get, how much profit you're going to get. It's going to distract you from the game, from performing as best you can. So this is really going to affect your performance, because you're not going to be concentrating on the game, you're going to be concentrating on every other single game that you bet on, which could be as few as 2 or 3, but it could be as many as 10, 11, 12. So this is not a good lifestyle factor to have. So an example of this was Joey Barton. He was caught within a gambling addiction, and although his image is quite tainted already, it doesn't really help him in any way, shape or form. He's going to be sliding down the Football League. He's not going to be wanted as a player, because he's got this gambling addiction, because he's going to be even more angry than he already is, and he's going to be distracted and concentrated on his bets, on everything other than the game, basically. However, there are some good lifestyle factors that you can follow. For example, investing in either housing estates or charity or any of these things. This will give you a really good image. This will make you look like a great person, especially if it's for charity or for young people, or vulnerable people, but disadvantaged people. This will really enhance your image and make you look like a much better person or player. So, for example, Robbie Fowler, when this is after he retired, he invested into some schools, which meant he was given a very good image, because people were saying, well, look at Robbie Fowler, he's helping children out, he's making sure that these children are getting the best chance they have by providing them with the best equipment, the best, etc., etc. So this really helps Robbie Fowler's image. It makes him look like a much better player, and it will make people forget any negative factors that have happened in his career, in his life at all. And it also provides a good money income if he's investing in housing estates, for example, providing houses for perhaps the homeless or perhaps the poor, cheap, affordable houses, but well built. This is going to be a good source of income. Now that he's not a footballer, he's not going to have necessarily going to have a sufficient income. Even though he has got plenty of money, he still needs some sort of form of income. So investing is a really good lifestyle factor. And the last lifestyle factor I will talk about today is competitive pressure, and how different performers deal with it. So competitive pressure would be like in a really pressurized situation, in a really high intensity situation, it will if you are good at dealing with this pressure, then you'll be considered a lot better, and you will be accepted at a lot higher standard. So let's say, for example, the World Cup, which is coming up in the next couple of months, or the next couple of weeks. This is a really high pressure situation because the performers and the teams and the squads will have a lot of pressure from their country and their fans and their coaching staff to perform as best as they can, so that they can represent their country and they can do their best for their country. So for some players this can get too much, and this can get on top of them, which will mean they'll play worse. This will then lead to lower expectations if a team plays badly in high pressure situations every year in, year out, or 4 years in, 4 years out for the World Cup. For England, for example, England never play well at the World Cup or in any competition, and this could just be because all the players can't deal with this high pressure situation, and this could also be because they're not used to it. It's not often an England team in the Champions League final or the Europa League final. It's always foreign teams with foreign players. So England players don't have this the experience in high pressure situations. So this could be one reason that players can't deal with these high pressure situations. But it could also be because they have other things going on in their life, like could be that they're smoking, which will make them even more stressed than the usual person. So a usual person might be slightly stressed, slightly anxious about an upcoming match, whereas someone like Szczesny, who smokes on a daily basis, will be a lot more anxious, a lot more downbeat, and feel a lot more under pressure, because the nicotine will be the nicotine high will be playing off or wearing off, and he will be coming down, and he won't be so confident or prepared for the upcoming match. And this is the end of my video, so thank you for listening.